Hello friends, welcome to English का ज्ञान चिंतन के साथ and today we are going to discuss the new essay likewise we do every weekend. So without wasting any time, let's start the discussion. Okay friends, so for today the statement of the essay is something like this. Nowadays people waste a lot of food that was bought from shops and restaurants. Why do you think people waste this kind of food? What can be done to reduce the amount of food wastage they do? So this is the statement which is given to us for writing the essay for IELTS Stars 2. For today's video, we are going to discuss this particular thing. As I have discussed earlier, I always prefer four paragraph pattern in which the first paragraph will be introduction, the second and third paragraph will be body paragraph number 1 and body paragraph number 2, and the last one will be your conclusion, right? So for writing introduction, first of all we need to perform two activities, and out of which the first activity is finding keyword. So let's start without wasting any time keyword hunting for this particular statement. If I talk about the keyword, it means by using which we can write our introduction or we can write our general statement for the introduction, then according to me, wastage of food, that would be our keyword, right? And by using that particular word, or it means that we can write something about wastage of food, or in another way you can also write some importance of food also to cover your generalized statement of introduction. What kind of sentences you can write, that you will see in a minute in a slide in which I have provided entire introduction which is written by me for this particular topic. Now the next activity that we need to do for this particular statement is writing thesis statement. Now friends, if I talk about this particular category of this essay, then there are two questions which are asked to us and we need to provide the answer to those questions, right? It means this essay will contain the simplest form of thesis statement. Thesis statement is nothing but a statement by which you are communicating or you are telling the examiner that you are going to write about this thing, right? So without wasting any time, let's start discussing the thesis statement for this particular essay. As you can see, friends, there are two questions are available in front of you. Why do you think people waste food? So here you need to give the reasons why people are wasting food and what steps can be done or what can be done to reduce amount of food that they throw away. It means you need to provide the solutions for the problem of food wastage. So these are the two questions. And if I talk about the thesis statement for this particular essay, then it would be very, very simple thesis statement. Simply you can say your examiner that this essay will explain causes, means reasons, and meticulous steps. It means and the solutions to deal with this phenomenon. It means with this phenomenon means with this trend of wasting food. It means in that single statement, you have already told your examiner that my essay will explain the reasons and the solution of the problem which is relevant to food wastage. And in that way, you can communicate your thesis statement to your examiner. So this is what we can write in our for our introduction paragraph. Now let's see by using this concept how we can develop our introduction paragraph for this particular statement. Okay, now it's time to discuss body paragraph number 1, right? In which we are going to write the reasons of food wastage. So let's start discussing body paragraph number 1 for this particular statement. If I talk about the first reason of food wastage, then according to me, it is the reduced cost of food to some extent. Why? Because see friends, there are so many food outlets are available in the market, and there is very good amount of competition also available within that food outlets, and just because of that reason, they have reduced the cost to attract the customers, and just because of that, customers buy larger amount of quantity of food, and in doing that sometimes they also purchase some unnecessary quantity of food, and in that way the food is wasted by them. It means reduced cost of food due to competition available between various food outlets. That is the one reason why the food is being wasted by people, so that you can include in your body paragraph number 1. If I talk about the second reason why people are wasting food, then the second reason would be high discounts available or high discounts provided by online food delivery platforms. We all know there are Zomatos are available, and any like other online food platforms are available, and there are so many marketing schemes are there, so many discounts are available, and owing to that reason sometimes customers are attracted a lot, and sometimes they order the quantity of food which is not actually required, and ultimately or eventually the food will be wasted. So that is also one of the reasons why people are wasting food. So just because of that reason, you can also include high discounts of online platform for food in your body paragraph number 1. Now the third point or third reason, if I talk about, then it would be less awareness in people for importance of food. See, nowadays in today's world, people are not aware about how much important a food is for a particular individual who is not able to eat it, or let's say for example for poor people how much it is important. So that awareness, the common awareness, is not available or is not present in the minds of people, and just because of that reason they become careless, they become reckless, and just because of that behavior or that kind of attitude, they waste a lot of food. So that can be also considered as a one of the reason for wastage of food, and just because of that reason you can also include that point in your body paragraph number 1. The fourth and final reason for food wastage would be lack of strict policies by government and the outlet owner to handle this trend. See, in today's world, in most of the countries, there are no strict rules by the government to prevent this kind of food wastage. Not only for customers also, but there are also lack of rules and regulations are available, less rules and regulations available for outlet owners also. Or to some extent, outlet owners are also not creating that kind of rules and regulations which can prevent this kind of food wastage. And just because of that reason, the wastage of food is high. So this is also one of the reasons due to which the food is wasted in a high quantity, right? So that owing to that reason, you can also include this point also in your body paragraph number 1. I hope you understand uh, all these 4 points in a comfortable way. Now let's see, by using these 4 points, how can we develop our body paragraph number 1. In body paragraph number 2, we are going to discuss solutions for handling the problem of food wastage. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's start discussing body paragraph number 2. Guys, whenever you write problems and a solution kind of essay, whenever this kind of essay is being asked to you, then always try to, if you have reasons, then the solutions for that reason would be your third paragraph, right? In a very simple way. So if I talk about, let's say for example, if I talk about, we have added less awareness of importance of food. That is the reason of wastage of food. Then what should be done? Simple. The awareness should be spread out. And owing to that reason, my third point or the third solution of this particular problem, as you can see in my screen, in my screen, is that awareness of importance of food can be spread in people. It means people should be educated about the importance of food, either by government, either by some NGOs, or they can learn these things. They can learn the importance of food by themselves also. So just try to uh, just try to ask yourself, okay, these are the reasons, then what can be the solutions for the same, and that you need to add, simply you need to add in your other paragraph, right? Now let's say, for example, in first paragraph we have already discussed that there are the lack of strict policies by the government, by the outlet owner and all those things. Then what can be done? Simply the government has to apply the strict actions, has to apply the strict policies to handle this wastage. Outlet owner also can contribute in this way also. So just because of that reason, my fourth solution for this particular problem would be strict implementation of policies of hotel owners and government. It means government should make some strict policies, and strict implementation of the same should be done to handle this food wastage. So these are the two solutions which we can derive easily from the reasons paragraph, right? If I talk about the another two solutions according to me to handle this food wastage, then the first solution according to me at a personal level would be to use certain kind of preservative techniques or preservative equipments also on a personal level we can use to reduce the food wastage to some extent. And if I talk about the food outlet or any food store, then they can also use this kind of preservative techniques or preservative equipment to certain extent for a certain period of time to keep the food intact in a good state, and that can be delivered to the customer, and in that way also the food wastage can be reduced. So that particular point also we can include in the solution for this problem of food wastage, and just because of that reason you can also include that point also in your body paragraph number 2. And the last solution, according to me, is like some NGOs can initiate the actions in which they can collect the leftovers from various food outlets. And if it is really possible, then they can also collect from individuals' home also the leftover food. It means the food which has been left at that particular place. They can collect those amount of that particular amount of food from individual entity, and then that can be delivered to the needy people, and in that way also the problem of food wastage can be solved out. So I hope friends you understand all these four solutions for handling the food wastage. And now let's see how these 4 points can be converted into body paragraph number 2 in my next slide. Now it's time to discuss the conclusion of this particular statement. So without wasting any time, let's start discussing conclusion. As I have discussed earlier, whenever you need to write the conclusion on any topic, then always try to ask who and what to yourself for that particular problem. Who means who can do something for solving that particular problem, and what can be done to solve that particular problem. So according to me, the answer of who for this particular problem would be government, some private firms, it means some NGOs, and the people itself. They can do something in a very simple way. What they can do, they can apply the collective effort to reduce this problem, and that would be your simple idea of your thesis, of your conclusion, right? And if I reframe my that idea for the conclusion of this statement, then my conclusion will become something like this. To conclude, though it is an arduous task to revamp the attitude of people towards this strength. Revamp means change. Collective and diligent efforts from government, people, and private firms can mitigate or alleviate the problems of this situation. It means the collective efforts from government, people, and private firms can solve this problem if they work together, right? I hope you enjoy this explanation, right? And now, without wasting any time, let's see the entire essay, slide by slide, which I have written by using these points. But before that, I would like to request you guys, like, if you feel and if you really wish that if you would like to learn the advanced vocabulary, then please go and visit this particular playlist in which I have listed 100 words with meaning and with sentences, and try to write and try to use these words in your day-to-day communication, in your IELTS stars 2 speaking, whenever you feel them correct. Okay, and try to increase your vocabulary, and definitely it will enhance your bands in your IELTS examination for sure. So if you really feel to go through it, then please do not forget to go through it also. Now let's see the entire essay.